Don't forget to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you know when videos drop. Thanks for watching.
I am standing in our Peacock Palace, also known as our Peacock Barn. This barn stands 40 foot tall, 60 feet long, and 30 feet wide. Recently, I was thinking, whatever happened to the peacocks that roam the grounds of St. John's the Divine Cathedral in New York City? We featured that cathedral in our second Peafowl book, The Wacky World of Peafowl Volume 2, where my sister and I were invited guests to the church grounds to see the 3 beautiful peacocks that were 2 years old roaming by those swimming pools with the young kids, and that most beautiful full-tail peacock in the front of the church hanging out, which was about 4 years old. We were so excited to be there. I was thinking, are the peacocks still there? I called and found out indeed they are in 2022. In fact, the peacocks now have a brand new home. They call it a hutch. I call it the Peacock Cathedral because it looks just like the church grounds. These peacocks had a nice home previously, but they thought it was time to get a new home for the birds. What they did was they created a competition, so they invited many architectural firms to come up with plans to design a beautiful pen for their birds. They decided on one, and they had a jury made up of cathedral staff and community members and church members to see which they liked the best. And they had one important factor in the designing of this peacock hutch. It had to mirror the church architecture. And boy, it sure did. This now made for a brand new home for their 3 peacocks, 2 blues and 1 white. Jim the peacock was one of the blues, Phil was one of the whites, and of course Harry the peacock. And they are the proud residents, are about 20 years old, and they roam the grounds of the 13 acres there at the cathedral. The architectural firm that was selected for the peacock hutch came up with the most unique design. The outside sheathing looks very much like feathers with little holes so people can peek in and see the peacocks during different times of the year. It also has a floor that is tapered down, so when they clean it out, it will run out. It has 3 heating lamps up above, along with a water hose that goes to fonts to provide water during the season of the year when water does not freeze. It was so fun to see these beautiful photographs that the cathedral people provided for us. Jim the peacock had some kind of an accident or something caused a problem with his leg. They sent him to a very talented veterinary clinic, and the place is called the Center for Avian and Exotic Medicine. And they fixed Jim's leg up. They had surgery on it, and then one of the veterinarians just loved taking care of the peacock. He sat there so peacefully. He loved the staff. I would say this, these are some of the most talented veterinarian staff that you could ever want. Jim, Phil the white peacock, and Harry the blue peacock were named after 2 deans and 1 head of the school at the church grounds. Here are some questions that I asked. First one was, what do you feed your peacocks? They feed them a game bird food, which is called Missouri, and it's a high protein, similar to what we feed our birds on our farm here. They also provide them with some cat food. They provide some almonds as a treat to throw out when they're around and about. They also provide them with some kale and an occasional grape and some other small fruit. Now, another question was this hutch designed for a certain number of peacocks? This was designed for what the birds they had on their place at that time. I asked them who gave them their peafowl. Somewhere between 1980 and the mid-80s, the church trustees brought the peacocks on the ground, and they might have been the same birds that my sister and I saw on the grounds in 1989. And then later on, most recently, I think in 2002, the church school kids ended up providing the peacocks that are now on the church grounds as a gift to the church. It's kind of nice to have peacocks there in the center of New York City on 13 acres, and it's an oasis for peace. When I was on those grounds, it was so beautiful, unbelievably beautiful to be there. If you would like to follow the church and find more information about St. John's the Divine, I have provided a link down below so you can check them out, and you can find out everything about their birds and take tours of the church grounds the next time you're in New York City. The address, phone number, and all the details are listed on their website. I want to thank the church staff for providing these beautiful photographs photographs that you've just seen, along with the photographers who took the pictures. And I also want to thank the architectural firm for providing the most beautiful peacock hutch that I've ever seen. I will call it the Peacock Cathedral. And when I get a chance to get back to New York City, the first place I'm going to go is to see those beautiful peacocks on the 13 acres of St. John's the Divine. Thanks for viewing.
Order the Wacky World of Peafowl books at peafowl.com.